In today's video, I'm going to break down the price of Bitcoin, where I think we're going in the short term and long term, and I'm going to reveal exactly when I think this crypto cycle is going to top out. So make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get into it. So we're going to start off by looking at the Bitcoin price chart. Now, for those of you who saw my video a week ago, you would know that we actually called this move down perfectly, and it went down to the exact level that I called. And it is in fact this support and resistance level right here, which we were looking at, which was the previous highs from back here in May of 2025. When we got a breakout of that level, what actually happened was we left an imbalance on the chart here when not a lot of volume was traded. And the moment we actually broke these lows, it became very probable that we would actually come down and fill that imbalance and come down to this level at around 112,000. And this is where I'm actually expecting for us to see a bounce, which we are seeing, and to then make our push up back to potentially put in new all-time highs. And we can see on some of our indicators, like our momentum wave, that we are actually starting to curve to the upside, as long as having our money flow also start to curve to the upside here, which indicates that we are going to see a bigger move up. Now, when we zoom out a little bit, another really bullish sign is when we pull up our volume profile of this whole range here, we can see that the value area high of that volume profile is sitting at $109,000. Now, it's going to be a very key level of support. As long as we can hold above the value area high and we do not get sucked back into this volume range, then it is more likely that we are going to continue the uptrend and put in new highs. However, if we were to lose this level and actually come down back into this volume profile, then it becomes more likely that we'd go back to the point of control where the most volume is traded, and then the value area low at around 88,000. But I don't think that that is the likely scenario. I do think that we have bottomed and we are getting that push up, because as long as we're above this level, it becomes more probable that we are going to move towards the upside. And that's actually why I've actually entered into a long trade at this level right here, and I'm currently long on Bitcoin. Now, I want to zoom out for a second, and we're going to take a look at the total crypto market cap chart. Now, what we're actually going to do is we're going to add in the Bitcoin halving events. So here are all of our previous Bitcoin halvings. And when we measure this out from our Bitcoin halving to the top of a 2017 cycle, we can actually see that the top was 546 days after the halving from our 2017 cycle. Well, when we look at our previous cycle as well, and we measure this out, we can see that the top was also 546 days after the halving. So it's been exactly the same the last two cycles. So it would be a good assumption to assume that this cycle is likely going to top out around that same time period. So if we were to measure 546 days from our previous halving, it would put us right around the 20th of October 2025. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to mark that point out on the chart. So if a previous cycle, the total market cap actually topped out 546 days after, well, that would put our top in October of 2025. Now, I do believe that it is likely that our altcoins may top out a little bit after, seeing as Bitcoin likes to run first and then altcoins follow. As we see that money rotate into the altcoins from Bitcoin, I would expect altcoins to lag behind a little bit. So we can actually draw kind of a box here, and the time frame that I would give it is I think the top will be somewhere between October and January of 2026. And now for the total altcoin market cap, I'm actually projecting us to land somewhere between $8 and $10 trillion. So what we can do is we can actually draw a little box here starting at 8 trillion, and we'll go to January 2026, and we'll go up to $10 trillion. So this actually gives us kind of a zone of where I'm expecting the market to top out at between the timeframes we set and between about $8 and $10 trillion. So what we could essentially expect for the rest of the year, if we were to reach that, is we could actually expect a very explosive move up for Bitcoin into that zone. Because when you look at the previous cycles, it's always the end of a cycle where you get the most explosive move. Now, the best example of this would be 2016, when we pretty much just went parabolic for the last half of the year. That's essentially what I'm expecting, because this cycle has been a lot more similar to 2017. So I'm kind of expecting to see pretty much a blow off top here for the altcoins and for the total market cap. Because even though Bitcoin just recently broke out, we didn't really see a breakout of our highs. We kind of just wicked above it, and we didn't see follow through for the total market cap. So once we can actually get above this blue box here, this is when I'm going to expect that real parabolic move to happen, and then get our bear market after that. So how would I be playing this market right now? Well, I think that any dips that we do see are going to be buying opportunities up until the peak of the market, which I'm expecting to be towards the end of this year. So this is really going to be one of your last opportunities to really accumulate some altcoins at cheap prices before they do start to go parabolic and put in 5, 10, 20x returns in the space of the next 6 months, essentially. So the first coin I'd probably look at to start with is going to be Ethereum. I think Bitcoin is a bit too expensive at $113,000, and the risk versus reward just isn't there for me, because realistically we're only expecting Bitcoin to top between 150 to 200,000. So the return just isn't going to be there. You're not even going to be able to double your money. Whereas Ethereum, I still think it has a couple X's in it. I still think Ethereum can easily 3 to 4x from here and potentially top somewhere between 10 and 15,000. Now, XRP under $3 is still a decent price. I think XRP hits at least $6, but I'm looking upwards of somewhere between $12 to $20 as my final price target for XRP. So I do think, even though it is quite expensive right now, I still think there is a bit of value in XRP, but I would really start looking at some small altcoins with a lot lower market caps, because you're going to get much better returns. So I'll scroll down this list, and the first coin that I would really start looking at is probably going to be Chainlink. This is the leading oracle built on Ethereum, and almost every blockchain uses Chainlink's oracles for their price feeds. This is a coin that has more utility than almost every other crypto, and major partnerships as well. And with a market cap of only $10 billion, I could see this easily reaching a $100 billion market cap this cycle, which would put it at a 10x from here, around $150. As we scroll down the list, another coin that I really like is going to be HBAR with their patented hashgraph technology. This is an ISO 20022 compliant coin, and it's performed really well so far this bull run, and I expect it to continue to perform, especially as the narrative around the ISO 20022 coins start to pick up again. Going down as well, some other coins I'd really want some exposure to AI and real world assets, as they're two of the hottest narratives this cycle. And BitTensor Tau is hands down the leader in the AI section, known as the Bitcoin for AI, with a max supply of 21 million, just like Bitcoin. This coin is an easy 10x in my opinion, and I think it's probably one of the safest AI picks, and you can't really go wrong with Tau. Another coin I really like at the moment is going to be Ondo Finance. This is the leading token for the real world asset space, so priced at 88 cents, I think anything under $1 for Ondo is going to be a massive buy for me. I think this coin could potentially reach a market cap of $50 billion and potentially do a 15 to 20x from here, which would be absolutely insane. But guys, if you would like my top picks, the coins that I think are going to get you the most return on your investment and make you the most money, you can actually purchase my top 10 picks for 2025, 2026. These are the coins that I've handpicked to myself and have the most conviction in. And as well, guys, if you would like to just do some coaching with me, if you'd like me to take a look at your portfolio or just teach you how to trade, just message me on either social media or send me an email and I'll get back to you guys. But besides that, that's pretty much all I've got for today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.
Bitcoin, please go to moon. Stop going sideways now. Don't ever say we going down to 1K, but Mr. Novogratz say we have bottomed out. is bullish. Automerat, to nehaj is bearish.
Bearish target of 13 timescale.
Novogratz is bullish.
Bitcoin could be at 40,000.
Let us go to moon.